We're coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios. This is Prime News on SABC 3. Let's give you a sense of what's leading this evening with these top stories.
We've seen very disparaging remarks directed at our president, and we've raised these concerns with the Israeli embassy previously.
South Africa has expelled Israeli charge d'affaires in South Africa, Ariel Sidman, and he has 72 hours to leave the country. Israel has meanwhile retaliated and gave a Pretoria senior diplomat in Israel, Sean Benefeld, 72 hours to leave Israel.
Commissars and fighters, as an organization, we find ourselves at the moment of where we either thrive or perish.
EFF leader Julius Malema has sounded alarm ahead of this year's local government elections.
I'm rather glad that we brought the cup here at the union buildings. So what we have done is to unveil it.
And President Cyril Ramaphosa has urged Bafana Bafana to go and give it their all in the Americas and to bring back the FIFA World Cup trophy to South Africa. Good evening and a warm welcome to Prime News on 3. I am Paulette. Now, great to be in your company this evening as we bring you news making headlines across South Africa and the world. From developments to top stories and to sports and weather, we've got you covered. With that said, let's dive right in. We begin with this tonight. Israelis charge d'affaires in South Africa, Ariel Sidman, has 72 hours to leave the country. He has been declared as a persona non grata. Durko says this follows a series of unacceptable violations of diplomatic norms and practice, which pose a direct challenge to the country's sovereignty. Meanwhile, Israel has retaliated and gave Pretoria's senior diplomat in Israel, Sean Benefeld, 72 hours to leave Israel.
We've seen very disparaging remarks directed at our president, and we've raised these concerns with the Israeli embassy previously.
An extraordinary step as Pretoria sent packing Israel's second-in-command in South Africa. The International Relations and Cooperation Department says this has been triggered by Ariel Sidman's conduct in the country.
We had hoped that this conduct would end and we would see some change in behavior and maybe an adherence to the diplomatic protocols. We've also seen recently senior officials from Israel visiting South Africa without the Israeli embassy informing South Africa.
What about the repercussions in light of the current geopolitical environment and Pretoria's thawing frosted ties with Israel's key ally, the US?
The bilateral relations that we have with other countries should not be instrumentalized or used in the geopolitical space. But for the actions of the Israeli embassy, we wouldn't have been in this situation.
Some analysts have weighed in on this matter.
An insult to the head of state is always taken very seriously by the receiving state. There's no excuse for any diplomat to insult his or her host. That's fundamental in the field of diplomatic practice.
We're shocked, we're deeply disappointed, and we're quite outraged actually at the fact that Durko has taken this momentous decision.
There was a picket outside the Nelson Mandela Foundation, some calling for the foundation chair, Dr. Naledi Pandor, to step down. But pro-Palestine activists came out as well to defend her.
We are gathered outside the Nelson Mandela Foundation as pro-Palestinian activists to show our support for the Nelson Mandela Foundation.
Khalihle Khumalo, SABC News, Johannesburg.
In other news, the EFF leader Julius Malema has described the upcoming elections as do or die for the party to redeem itself. Malema was speaking on the first day of the party's 3-day National People Assembly ahead of the local government elections. Malema says that going forward, the party will change its approach when it comes to working with other political parties.
The second plenum of the third EFF National People's Assembly and the marching orders by the party's number one. For Julius Malema, the upcoming local government elections this year is now or never for the party.
Commissars and fighters, as an organization, we find ourselves at the moment of where we either thrive or perish. It's now or never. If we decline in this election, we must pack our bags and go home.
Malema pleaded with those gathered here to continue being selfless in their communities as it will eventually yield results.
The Youth Command will play an important role in the coming local government election and must begin to build solid and verifiable election structures that will mobilize young people in all spheres of society.
And a clear message to his opposition.
The days where the EFF supports other organizations to have mayors have come to an end. We will field mayors, and anyone who wants to negotiate with the EFF must know that the EFF wants mayorship.
The EFF's gathering will end on Sunday with a clear vision of the upcoming local government elections. Madlanga Commission, SABC News, Johannesburg.
The Madlanga Commission has ruled that a witness who was scheduled to appear today will instead appear before the probe on Tuesday, 3rd of February 2026, and will do so partially in camera. This after his legal team brought two separate applications for hearing to be postponed and for the witness to appear partially in camera on the set date. Both applications were granted.
The Madlanga Commission, which began its 2026 leg of hearings with steam, has been slightly delayed after it had to postpone the hearings of a scheduled witness to Tuesday, the 3rd of February 2026, following an application brought by the said witness.
The matter is postponed to Tuesday next week. The main reason for that is that we, to an extent, do understand the plea that time is required to go through the documentation, and we feel that in fairness we should not be too nitpicking about when exactly the documents were received or when they were not.
A second application was brought by the witnesses' lawyers seeking to have their client's name and face shielded from the proceedings that attract the nation's glare. The evidence leaders did not oppose the application but called for it to be heard in chambers.
Chair, can I ask that this hearing is addressed in private and possibly not in this auditorium but somewhere else, because I think both parties might want to refer to matters or facts that would defeat the purpose of a closed application or a remote hearing application.
Chairperson retired Justice Mbuyiseli Madlanga subsequently returned following the application and ordered that the witness will appear partially in camera, testifying using their audio with no face or name. The hearings continue on Monday with a different witness. The witness who is the subject of these applications will return on Tuesday and appear as ordered. Kani Mapanga, SABC News, Pretoria.
Good morning, Mr.
After a short break, the Border Management Authority has raised concerns about unaccompanied minors intercepted at the country's ports of entry. This and more when we return. Welcome back. The Border Management Authority has raised concerns about the increase in accompanied minors who were intercepted at the country's ports of entry during the past festive season. The Department of Home Affairs and the BMA briefed the media in Pretoria about the 2025-2026 festive season operations.
An update on the country's festive season cross-border movement suggests that the Border Management Authority's crackdown on illegal operations is paying off.
We have started to see encouraging signs that deterrence is starting to work. During this past festive season, there has been a marked decrease in the number of attempted illegal border crossings.
The BMA confirmed that they facilitated the movement of close to 5 million travellers across the country's 71 ports of entry over a period of 36 days.
During this 2025-2026 festive period, there has been a significant decline, as the Minister had said, in the number of individuals who attempted to enter South Africa illegally, compared to the 58,394 that were intercepted in the 2024-2025 festive period. Now, this represents a decline of 46%. Then during these festive operations, the border guards detected and intercepted about 26,852 individuals who were attempting to enter South Africa illegally. Of this total, about 22,153 were undocumented.
Despite these successes, there's a concern over the increase in unaccompanied minors at the ports of entry. The BMA also helped to prevent a South African child from being smuggled out of the country into Mozambique. Patricia Fasahi, SABC News in Pretoria.
National Director of Public Prosecutions, Advocate Shamila Batohi, has described her tenure as a journey of rebuilding the National Prosecuting Authority in the aftermath of the state capture era, restoring its integrity, independence and professionalism. Batohi has acknowledged that the work is not yet complete, but says a solid foundation has been laid for a stronger prosecution service focused on integrity, professionalism, accountability and credibility.
Over the past 5 years, and I say 5 years because although my term has been 7, we were interrupted by COVID and we didn't have a leadership team. So the work really of rebuilding started about 5 years ago. And so over this period, the NPA has moved with urgency and determination to respond to our mandate. It has been an incredibly, incredibly challenging journey. We had to rebuild a broken institution while simultaneously, and I repeat, simultaneously, delivering on our core prosecutorial responsibilities, given the understandable impatience for accountability and justice in this country. The work is not yet complete, but you may, as people of South Africa, rest assured that a solid foundation has been built for a stronger, more effective NPA.
Justice and Constitutional Development Minister Mamoloko Kubayi has declared Gauteng crime prevention wardens as peace officers. Kubayi relied on Section 334 of the Criminal Procedure Act of 1977 to grant the wardens limited legal powers to support law enforcement in the province. The wardens, also known as Amapanyaza, were temporarily disbanded following a 2025 public prosecutor report which found that their establishment was unlawful.
Constitutional Development has today gazetted and declared the Gauteng traffic wardens as peace officers and therefore making them lawful to operate and fulfill the responsibilities given to them. Government has worked collaboratively across spheres to address the legal deficiencies identified to align the processes with the applicable legislative framework.
So today marks a significant milestone in the strengthening of law enforcement capacity and improving coordination within the justice, crime prevention and security cluster.
This release of the Gazette and announcement of the peace officer status of our traffic officers or traffic wardens, together as a provincial government and national government, indeed provide a powerful testament to the principle of cooperative governance in action. We are here to communicate a clear message to the criminals that we are ready now to use every resource at our disposal to protect our residents.
In other news, police say a dedicated team has been set up to track down 18 Chinese fugitives believed to be hiding in the country. This follows the extradition of a 63-year-old Chen Fuji at OR Tambo International Airport this morning. He's accused of defrauding the Chinese government of 120 million rand.
The long-sought Chinese fugitive accused of defrauding his own government disembarked from a vehicle in leg irons and in tears as he was escorted to the police station for processing. According to police, the fugitive was nabbed while applying for a US visa.
In July 2025, he was attempting to apply for a US visa. We were then alerted by the embassy on what he was attempting to do, and we arrested him there and there. He's been in police custody for the past 6 months.
A team has been established to track down more fugitives. Police say it's concerning that criminals view the country as their nest.
They also alerted us on 18 others that we have been looking for, actively searching for. 11 are on red notices, and we are still actively searching.
Details around the case remain sketchy, but some media reports suggest that the man is implicated in a multi-million rand fraud scheme that allegedly targeted state-linked companies in China. Chinese authorities had been tracking the suspect for several years. Upon his arrival in China, he will be taken into custody, after which a trial is expected to begin. Calvin Lula, SABC News, Kempton Park.
After the break, President Ramaphosa has urged Bafana Bafana to go and give it their all in the Americas and to bring back the trophy to South Africa. But let's tell you more after the break. Thank you for staying with us. Let's continue with this now. The Standing Committee on Public Accounts has found that the road accident fund systems are not user-friendly. This emerged during one of the committee's site visits at the RAF offices in Parktown, Johannesburg. The visit forms a part of an ongoing inquiry into the fund's financial management and operations challenges.
Earlier this week, the Standing Committee on Public Accounts heard that the Road Accident Fund has been operating under sustained financial distress for more than 3 decades. This was disclosed during the ongoing inquiry into the RAF's financial management and operational challenges. On Friday, the committee visited one of the fund's offices in Johannesburg, where operational challenges were discovered, among other things. SCOPA Chair Songezo Zibi says the fund is faced with a multitude of challenges aside from its financial woes.
Firstly, it is the amount of time it takes especially for people who are not represented by lawyers, to complete the whole claims process. We've met people here who say they've been here over 10 times. There have been claims that have been outstanding for 5-6 years.
Democratic Alliance and SCOPA member Patrick Atkinson says the fund, which is meant for all South Africans, is in fact not.
This is not a user-friendly process for ordinary people. So it's almost impossible actually to lodge a claim at RAF unless you've got a lawyer. We've worked out that for anybody lodging a claim, it can cost up to 100,000 Rand to do so.
The committee says it will continue its hearings into the fund's financial management and operational challenges until the 4th of February. Nothando Makutulela, SABC News, Johannesburg.
And in your world of sports, President Cyril Ramaphosa has urged Bafana Bafana to go and give it their all in their Americas and to bring back the FIFA World Cup trophy to South Africa. Ramaphosa was speaking at the Union Buildings in Pretoria at a special function where he received the iconic trophy. It's in South Africa for 3 days as part of a global tour to 30 FIFA member associations ahead of the tournament in June.
3, 2, 1.
Friday's official function for President Cyril Ramaphosa to receive and unveil the FIFA World Cup trophy was very brief, and the formalities lasted only 30 minutes. The event was preceded by the arrival of special dignitaries, including 1998 World Cup winning captain Marcel Desailly of France. The former Chelsea defensive midfielder officially handed over the World Cup trophy to Ramaphosa. South Africa is the second African stop after Egypt.
I'm rather glad that we brought the cup here at the Union Buildings. So what we have done is to unveil it and touch it, and it feels very good. It's got a nice touch and feel to it. and we are going to lend it out, but it's going to come back here.
Members of the current Bafana Bafana squad, as well as legends, graced the function in Pretoria.
No, it's amazing. Even now, I've got goosebumps thinking about it. And you know, that we're going to the World Cup makes it more real. Seeing the trophy, being so close to the trophy, the president's here, the ministers are here. It's been amazing.
During its current tour, the trophy will visit 75 cities across the world in 150 days. Sfiso Ramara, SABC News, Pretoria.
Right, with that, for a closer look at the weather conditions and what to expect in the days ahead, we now cross over to the weather desk for the details. Stay with us.
Thank you very much, and a very warm welcome to the weather desk. Stormy weather conditions over the eastern provinces of South Africa tonight. As you can see, according to our latest satellite images, especially over the high-lying areas of KwaZulu-Natal in the west, and there is a 60% probability of thunder showers in these areas, including over the high veld of Mpumalanga, the eastern half of the Free State, southern Gauteng, throughout the northwest province, and the far eastern interior of the Eastern Cape. Otherwise, a slight chance of some thunder showers in the Northern Cape, some areas in the Free State, and the central interior of the Eastern Cape for tonight. And tomorrow is still expecting a similar weather pattern, starting off with some fog patches over the eastern high-lying areas of the country, including over the Eastern Free State, high veld of Mpumalanga, Limpopo in the escarpment in the western parts of KwaZulu-Natal, some fog patches all over the south coast and the west coast of the Northern Cape. And this is as a result of an approaching cold front bringing a slight chance of rainfall in the south coast of the Western Cape. Otherwise, in the afternoon, another 60% probability of thunder showers in the eastern provinces, including the far eastern parts of the Eastern Cape. And for tonight, a level 4 warning of some severe thunderstorms in the western parts of KwaZulu-Natal, and these severe storms will be accompanied by large amounts of hail. We're also expecting very strong and damaging winds and intense lightning activity in the high-lying areas of KwaZulu-Natal. Otherwise, a level 2 warning is also in place over the eastern provinces of South Africa for tonight. And these conditions will persist as well for tomorrow afternoon, including the Waterberg district of Limpopo, with heavy rainfall expected there, leading to localized flooding and fell fires still expected in the western parts of South Africa. And temperatures are very warm along the east coast overnight, with a minimum of 20 in Port St. John's and 24 over eThekwini, but mild going towards the high-lying areas in the Eastern Free State and the interior of the Eastern Cape, a minimum of 14 in Bethlehem and 15 degrees over Komani. Another scorcher of a day in Uppington at 40. Otherwise, pleasant conditions are expected in most areas of South Africa on Saturday. And that is all from the weather desk.
And that wraps up our time together this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, have yourselves a good night. Be blessed. Pula.